There is a pizzeria in Las Vegas, Nevada that all the chefs that are visiting go to eat at.
I talked to Chris Decker. He's like, the best pizza I've ever had was the corn pizza that you did. We had Wylie Dufresne fucking when he was like getting ready to do stretch pizza. Like he came to Esther's to fucking eat our pizza.
Our guests today are James and Dylan of Esther's Kitchen. And there's a reason why they're the best.
We all have the same goal in mind and all helping each other, like, just live better and be better and just do better every day.
They have the highest of standards. Does that mean they're entitled to their outrageous opinions of other pizzerias?
What an absolute travesty, pizza in Italy is. Like, pizza in Italy sucks for the most part.
This is an amazing episode, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And remember to always ask, what's good dough? Set? Okay. The main conversation that I would like to hover around initially, not initially, we can just like fuck around for the first few minutes if we wanted, but the takeaway that I want is for people to see two things. A, if they don't have a pizzeria and they do have a restaurant where it's just like either Italian or just they want to incorporate a pizza program, how do they see it the way you all see it? And then the second thing is if they do have a pizzeria and they want to take it to the level that you all are doing, what does that look like? Yeah, right. I mean, you're like, good fucking luck.
Pizza's a lot of fun though. So like when we get started, I mean, I could definitely fucking go into that because like the seasonality of pizza is so important. I think it's one of the things that like we brought. I would say we're one of the first people that really bring like real seasonality and market-driven ingredients to pizza in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. When we got here, everyone was making a margarita. Everyone was doing pepperoni. They thought cup and char was the new greatest thing in the world, and it was like cute. So we've just always been playing a different game than everybody else. Like for sure, obviously, you can't have a conversation about pizza in Las Vegas without talking about fucking John Arena and Chris Decker. I mean, there's no way. But I think we inspired a lot of growth in that field. And we take that as like, people are like, hey, I remember you did this pizza, blah, blah. When you talk to Chris Decker, he's like, the best pizza I've ever had was the corn pizza that you did, I think it was like 2018 or 2019, right? I mean, like that's like, and like when you have some of the world's best pizza makers come and tell you that your shit's good and you're not a pizza maker, like fucking like we had Wylie Dufresne fucking when he was like getting ready to do stretch pizza, like he came to Esther's to fucking eat our pizza. Like during Pizza Expo, we're like, wow. I'm like, I mean, I've been like following that guy's career since I was fucking 15 years old. So it's like one of those things where it's like to have him come in and be like, this is fucking great. You guys are really killing it and blah, blah, blah. I mean, like that's huge words. Like all the love that we get from, obviously from Chris and from John has just been amazing. I mean, because like, and the other part is we've had a lot of great pizza makers come through the restaurant. So that's the other thing we can talk about.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Dylan.
Yes.
Technically a bread baker. That's what I feel like we need to get you in this real quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
Thoughts on just pizza in the Vegas scene in general, maybe as you've, been through the bread world. Mm-hmm. What have you seen?
I think one thing that we've seen a lot of growth and development in as well is like definitely the growth of like sourdough and like the use of like sourdough starters, natural starters and things like that in doughs. Again, I think we were kind of some of the first people to really start messing around with that and trying to like bring it to like the forefront of our programs. And now we're seeing a lot more of restaurants and other places like that kind of take that technique from like classic French baking and incorporating it into American pizza making. So I think that's another thing that I'd like to probably talk about a little bit. So,
because the other thing you should talk about in that is like, what an absolute travesty, pizza in Italy is. Like pizza in Italy sucks for the most part. Like people who like think like, oh, pizza's Italian. Like when people think about pizza, like they don't think about a Neapolitan pizza as being like what they're in their mind, right? What do they think about? They think about a New York slice. Like that's what people in America and around the world really think about pizza, right? It's a street food. It's like that. Like you go to these like fancy pizzerias in Naples, and I've been there. It's not good. Like Di Michele in Naples isn't good. I'm sorry. I understand that they're busy and they're that, and that's great because like they have a tourist fucking thing going on.
Sure.
But like
Eat, pray, love.
yeah, but it's also it's about like it's about being able to be enthusiastically critical. I think it's like one of those things like where like I loved being in Naples. I loved going to those pizzerias and seeing those things and seeing how they do everything. And I mean like talking about a place that just has a table full of dough that they're cutting off and turning into pizzas. Like that's like most like that's if you go to Di Michele and you like look, they're just cutting pieces off of dough and like making pizza out of it. Like they make 2 doughs a day. They're all, dry yeast. There's no sourdough in there. There's no salt really in the dough because they need the fermentation fast. So, like, understanding like fermentation retardation, understanding like, the strength of your sourdough, all of these different things, like understanding fermentation, the difference between warm fermentation, cold fermentation, finishing, and storage fermentation are all fucking different things, right? But when you go to Italy, they always have a reason for why they do it wrong. They have a reason for why they don't put effort into something. Like, oh, we use dry pasta because that's what like 90% of Italians eat. Okay, cool. Well, what about fresh pasta in the northern part of Italy? What about these great Michelin star restaurants who are amazing at what they do, right? Like, same thing. Like, you can go and you can see like some of the best pizzerias in the world. Like, we went to one place called Pizzeria Salvo in Naples. They're not on the list of like, fancy, Neapolitan style pizza because they don't do traditional Neapolitan style pizza. But but you walk in there and everyone from the Italian government is having lunch there because their pizza's amazing. And they do all kinds of cool things. Like they do like la mortazzas and they do all kinds of like pizza fritters and all kinds of fun stuff. And I mean, that was probably the most enjoyable meal we had in Naples was like a non-traditional pizzeria. Like it's great.
So contrast that. I mean, like I've seen the restaurant thankful for the tour, right? But contrast what most pizza makers are doing, very quick shit, not caring for the craft really, not even understanding fermentation. Contrast that to what you all are trying to do here with Esther's Kitchen.
Well, I think it goes back to like what Dylan started with. I mean, like, I put really insane expectations around a program in the beginning that we knew we weren't hitting our own marks, right? And so like that's the other thing is like a lot of people get to a point where they stop pushing on all fronts. Like they feel like they get good enough or their uncle's pizza was good enough.
I see.
Right? Like, when we came in and we were like talking about how many grams of, Levain starter that's going in our, our base dough and how that adjusts throughout the year based on humidity level, temperature,
And like before we even opened Esther's, like I was doing the bread and doughs out of my house every day for probably about 2 years. I have like probably 5 or 6 moleskins just of daily notes based on what the temperature of the flour was, the temperature of the water, the temperature of the starter, all those like very, very detailed, meticulous notes. So that way, and then we had to change everything once we actually scaled it to production too, because that was a whole nother variable that we weren't used to yet.
Because like a big dough is like a human being. Like if you have like a big bulk dough of pizza dough and it's naturally fermenting, it's breathing, it's eating, it's sweating, it's creating heat. It's like we used to talk about because we had that little tiny room that we used to work out of at the old Esther's. Like you get one body in there and a dough, it's like having 3 people in there. Because all of a sudden, like all that air is getting eaten, all that you have alcohol being produced from the fermentation. And like that room, we tried to control the temperature and humidity in it. And I mean, like it's like adding another body.
And then if you have a pasta extruder going too, producing heat from that as well, then you have a whole nother factor in there too.
Yeah.
Before I lose all my thoughts, because we're going like pretty deep into it right now, that first dough lab, that sterile, beautiful dough lab that you had at the old Esther's, holy shit, crazy. And like seeing it now in its evolution, also crazy. And then the one other thing I wanted to tell you was like, when you were talking about Wylie, come into your restaurant, like this is where people come when they're visiting Vegas. That's how I found you guys. Through Nino Coniglio, great pizza maker. Yeah. He's like, everyone's got to fucking eat here. And I'm just like, holy shit. It's weird because it's like, people know what good food is, and like they'll gravitate towards this, what you guys have built here. And going back to it all, just like tying it all up, the mark that you said, it doesn't meet our marks. How does someone figure that out? How does someone say, this is what I want, and then communicate it?
So I mean, like we talk about, we were doing a lot of, when we were doing the R&D process, him and I would just drive out to Metro Pizza on Sky Point, put a loaf of sourdough in the oven, watch it for 20 minutes, pick it out, throw it away, leave. And the people who worked there thought we were crazy. The people who worked at Metro, like, who are these fucking guys just walking in, like, making one dough, not even cooking it and throwing it away, right? Like, they just didn't understand, because what we were trying to do is determine the strength of our starters and the strength of the resilience of them, and how to bulk them up and how to feed them, and creating a proper feeding schedule, because proper feeding schedules in the desert are completely different than where we were in California for 10 years before this, right? Well, he was born and raised there, but I went to LA for like 10 years. And it's totally a different process. Like, there's a reason why there's not good bread in Las Vegas. It's because it's really, really fucking hard to produce. And it's really hard to, I mean, like, you know, California, a hot day is 90 and a cold day is 68, right? Here, a cold day is 30 and a hot day is 120. It's a whole different range when you're talking about natural fermentation starters. Like, it's just a different game that we're playing. And then on top of it, like, the evolution of our flour program has been like instrumental in the way that we've changed and incrementally pushed our boundaries. So when you talk about the boundaries, we set marks like, hey, I want a beautiful cornstone that you can see the webbing and the spidering in it. And we're going to teach our cooks how to produce the cornstone that we want on our pizzas, right? Because you've seen people who do cornstone like that. You see people who do it like this. Ours is always the size of about $1/4 to $1/2, right? Why is that? Because we want to show off the fermentation. We want to show off the strength of the flour. We also know that if we made the dough right, fermented it properly, have it like up and growing on the station, so that we're using it at kind of like its peak level of fermentation, that we're going to get the result that we want. So if we don't see it coming out of the oven, then we have to look at, is the dough fermented correctly? Are they stretching it correctly? Did they mix it correctly? So like literally like every single day we have them fire a pizza at like 10:30 to make sure that the fermentation level is where we want it. And like literally we make that pizza and we fucking chuck it right in the trash. It's also first pizza of the day always goes in the trash. It's a rule in life, right? It just is like, right?
It's always botched.
First, no, but it's not even like it's botched. It's like, it's that like, it's just like, you just don't want to eat because you just swept the deck, right? You're going to have a way hotter deck on your pizza oven. You want that fermentation. You want to check that the lift you're getting off everything. And so it doesn't really matter. You just make it, boom, look at it. And then, you know, you either throw it away or a dishwasher eats it, you know. But like, we always do one pre-service, because the last thing you want to do is go into service and then find out you have an issue, right? Because with 30 minutes, we can either retard the dough, we can speed up the process, we can put them in the fucking proofer, we can pull more out, we can do different things, we can show the new cook how to stretch the dough properly, how to top it properly. And that's the thing, is like, you know, all of these things are us getting to the point where we can hit our mark. But in reality, the day you hit your mark is the day you take the next step, right? If you stop, then you never will evolve. You'll never grow. You're never going to have a team that's like invigorated. You're not going to like, you know, you're not going to have, you know, saying something's good enough is not good enough. Like, that's like one of the things I would say about all of our restaurants, but most importantly here with all these things that have variables, is like, good enough is not good enough. Like, as soon as like every day you have a chance to get better. And it might just be like at this point, like when we were first starting, every day was like this. We got this much better. 7 years later, If we can get this much better every day, we're still growing, we're still challenging ourselves, we're still trying to make things better, we're still trying to be moving forward with like our processes, right? That's where you can lead to discovery. Because like if you really just say like something is like, okay, this is the way we make pizza here, this is it, boom, boom, on to the next thing. Because then we have pastas. Well, we do the exact same thing with pasta, right? We just got 2 new dies for our pasta extruder that we're extremely excited about, right? We get excited about like new things, about playing with new stuff because it creates new conversations. And something that we might be talking about for a pasta might end up influencing our pizzas, right? Because we're having that conversation. And when restaurants stop having that conversations, when owners and chefs and pizza makers stop having that conversation, that's when they fall off. That's when they lose. That's when they stop, you know, that's when you see the decline. And we don't ever want to see the decline. So the answer is we're hitting our mark, sure, but it's not good enough forever, you know?
We have a saying whenever we go do catering events, 1% better each time.
Yeah.
And we're super lucky if we can improve that multiple percentages at one time, because we're never going to be perfect.
Right.
But I can see one day where it's like not even 1%. Maybe it's 0.1%.
Yep.
Like that is like such an amazing goal.
And then the day you think it's good enough is the day you forget to bring salt or oil.
Yeah.
Right? It's the day you fucking, it's the day you forget to pack towels.
Your dough scraper.
Dough scraper, yeah, exactly.
Are you running a pizzeria in this day and age? If so, your cheese costs are probably killing your margins. As someone who's talked to hundreds of pizzeria operators, I've seen this story play out many times. Here's what most pizzerias don't realize. Baccio isn't just selling you cheese, they're actually paying you to use premium cheese through their rewards program. Think about that. Better quality and cash back on every order. That's why I'm seeing more and more pizzerias switch to Baccio. They're getting the perfect cheese pull while actually improving their bottom line. Don't just take my word for it. Schedule a demo today and let them know What's Good Dough sent you. See how quality and profitability can actually go hand in hand.
We get asked to do catering all the time. And we're like, yeah, no, we don't want to do it. Like our road game is strong, but like, dude, people who have food trucks and people who cater for a living, it's so hard. I mean, it is the hardest fucking business. It is, you know, like, you know.
That's why there's a premium attached.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is like, yeah, there's definitely a fuck you charge. If we do an offsite, there's 100% a fuck you charge on all of that. Like, because we do it for one of 2 reasons. Number one, we either have to be making a lot of money to go out and do it, because obviously this animal eats every day, right? And then, or we're doing it for someone who's a regular, someone we care about, and or a charity cause. Like that's the reasons why we do offsites, right? So like we do, you know, Pebble Beach Meals on Wheels. We go to Monterey and we cook for the Monterey Meals on Wheels. And the reason why we do that is because Dorothy, who's a great friend of ours, asked us to do it. It's an amazing charity. This year they had 50% of their funding cut, obviously by the government, because it's fucking orange turd burglar. But then after that, you know, those people still need to get fed. Those like people still like, I mean, like this is the thing, like, you know, we talk about all the time. Like we might feed 1,000 people here, but there's tens of thousands of people who we can't feed, right? So anytime that we can be of assistance to help do that, we have to do that too. So, and that's the move. Like, so like if you get us to do catering, it's a thing, right?
That's great. I don't know. I'm at a fork in the road right now. Either, or maybe we could talk about both, but like, this like grandiose mentality where everything has, not, maybe grandiose is the wrong word, but like everything here is big, beautiful, tight, sexy. You got all the fancy tools.
Right.
And then the other one is like, the other fork in the road is like, you just said like 1,000 covers. Is that in a night?
A day.
A day, yeah.
A day.
So it's like, holy fuck. Maybe they kind of interlap somewhere in the road, but it's like, was that always the goal?
No, but the problem is like you built like, so like, this was crazy. I wrote the original Esther's menu in 15 minutes. I was like, if I was going to do this restaurant, it's going to be this thing. What should be on the menu? Right? And it just wrote the menu. It wasn't hard. right? If you are struggling to write a menu, no one wants that food, right? So we created this place because, like, you have to remember when we started 7 years ago, there was no one down here. No one believed that we could, like, no one believed that we would be successful at all. Like, zero people.
I heard you guys brought the neighborhood. Right?
Well, I mean, people say that, but I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, we had to survive. I opened this restaurant. The original restaurant that when we opened, I had $5,000 in the bank left. I had to borrow, let's say I stole it, honestly. I stole like 17 grand from my sister because she was holding money in one of my bank accounts. So that way he can get paid, right? I had to do that. And don't get me wrong, I paid her back over the weekend and all that stuff. You know, she's all good. Trust me. She reminds me, I should have never even told her I did it. That being said, but we had $5,000 left in the bank, man. And that is not, so if we were trying to, like, you know, we're trying to like sell pizza and pasta, right? That's not usually a recipe for success. It really isn't. So it's like one of those things where the growth of this restaurant has been exponential every year. You know, we're talking about like we did $1.4 million the first year, right? That's $5,000 a day, right? It's crazy, right? Now, if we do a $5,000 lunch, it's a slow lunch, right? And so here's the thing is like, so like you go from 1.4, 2.3, 2.7, 3.2, 4.6 to 6. And then we open this thing and then the next year it's 12. So, I mean, like, obviously, like, we like I said, like, everything here is bigger and more grandiose, but every single thing here, there's a reason why we did it. Like the lounge that we're sitting in, I could have walled this off and made this a storage area or an office. But the reason why we put this up here is because every single day we were sending 150 people away to go get a drink somewhere else while they were waiting for a table. And here's the thing is like, when we got the capacity and we got this new space, we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have plenty of room. It's gonna be all good. No, we're still on a 2-hour wait, right? I mean, like when he's running Expo, we're talking about like, you know, you see tickets, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 tickets. There'll be 45 tickets on that rail, 45 different tables. And like all the bar seats are individual tables too. I mean, like when you're trying to deal with that much information and trying to process that, and I don't know if you watched the pass here, but they finish everything on the pass. Cooks don't finish food, right? A chef touches every single dish. So this is one of those things where, like, how you can do the scale up and you can do the grandiose thing, but it better be as good as when you were doing 50 or 100. Like the volume, like, you know, volume kills creativity. So we've worked our way out of that by creating dishes constantly. Like we actually, our people come to this restaurant because we change shit, right?
100%.
And then the other thing to remember is that like every single choice we made, like this space right here, the chairs downstairs, right? The way we set up the kitchen, the 3 separate passes, right? The way we set up the bars, everything was to solve a problem that we had at the old restaurant, right? And so like, yeah, we needed, and then there's some add-ons. Like I've always, like the idea with that room for the dough lab was so that way people could make us watch pasta, like watch us make the pasta. And they couldn't really do that. So what do? We put it right up front. So that way during the daytime, you see like they're prepping, they're doing the extruding during the daytime. They do all the dried pastas. Here's one of the great things is like, we're so dry here that we can actually just let them like hang out for an hour and then throw them in the walk-in. They're good to go. But most places they have to like rack them overnight. Here we don't have the humidity. So it's like the pasta's already dry coming out of the fucking extruder, right? So then at night we do this thing where we sheet all of our pasta doughs, roll all of our hand rolls, cut all of our tagliatelle, all of our tagarine, make all the agnolottis, and we do them like 5 orders at a time. So they go from here on a tray over to the pass. They get put on the station, they get used in order, and then like literally, but
maybe about a half hour passes between someone actually hand rolling that pasta and it going in the water to be prepared for the customer. So,
which is something that doesn't happen at 3 Michelin star restaurants. Like 3 Michelin star Italian restaurants don't do the work that we do. And so like, and this is what's crazy is like the kids who are working here don't realize that. So it's ingrained in them that what we do is like, they just notice that everything is different. They don't have the why yet. And so over the years, we teach them the why, right? And so that's those people who come up and grow through our ranks and who stay with us. They learn the reason why we do every single thing that we do. Cause like the worst thing you can ever do, like, and you see it all the time in the pizza, like, why do I use this much water? Why do I use this kind of flour? Oh, that's just what we've always done. Like, no, we're always evolving. We're always answering that question. We're always having conversations. We're always developing our pizza makers and our cooks and our pasta makers and our bakers. We're always working with them, right? Because like as much as they might know, they don't know what we want them to know yet.
Say that last part again, as much as they don't.
As much as people like come in and they think they know, because a lot of our cooks, when we first got cooks in, they didn't know shit. Like we'd have people like right off the street who had no idea how to cook, who have never cooked before. And honestly, those are some of our most successful cooks who turn into sous chefs. Like Renee, one of our sous chefs, started as a night cleaner, making $9.50 an hour, right? Now he's a sous chef. He makes fucking 85 grand a year, right? These are the things that we're able to do for people when they buy in, right? And when people buy into your system, like their ceiling becomes limitless, right? As long as you have more to give. And fortunately, like Dylan and myself, we are constantly working on ourselves. So we're constantly evolving, which means that we always have something new to teach somebody, right? And that's something that's really cool.
I've seen you develop so much talent over the years. You're an example of, buying in. Do you see a common thread of people who like want to work here and stay here and grow here? Is there like one or two quick hits that people can be like?
People who
That's what I'm looking
cannot, well, the first thing I look for is resilience, because everybody's looking to make something easy. We do everything hard, right? And that's the thing is like, there's no quick tricks to making something great. Like good food is a lot of very simple things done well. But when you look at all the processes together, they can be very overwhelming, right? Like bread. Like bread is 4 ingredients. Extremely complicated processes, a depth of understanding and knowledge that takes years, if not decades, to kind of like develop. And we're also like, we're always asking our mentors as well, like so one of Dylan's mentors is our old pastry chef, Carlos Enriquez. I sent him to LA just to go work with Carlos for a couple days because I didn't have the answers. I didn't know like what he needed to do, right? My pastry chef, Jake, just got back from France. I sent him to France to do a baking class. Why? Because I didn't have the answers for what we needed to do to up our game to that next level, right? So at some point, most people run out of like their knowledge base and then they cut everybody off. For me, I'm like, if these guys aren't better than me, then I failed. So Dylan is like the great example of like what buying in and understanding and having goals is all about. I mean, like, starting off at $13.50 an hour to becoming the executive chef of a restaurant that does, $15 million a year is a serious jump for someone over 7 years. But the reason why he's the guy he is because we've literally put him in every single position, from sugar cookie getter to fucking like executive chef. And now he's developing that next round of talent. That's the whole point of this. Like he's the reason why we do this.
Anything you want to add?
I mean, like I said, I think it's about always just like caring the most about what your product is coming out at the end of the day, like, and talking about resilience and just wanting to get the job done. Like one thing we didn't touch on yet is back at Old Esther's, we had a hook that was the wrong size for our mixer. We didn't even have a pizza oven for probably the first 3 weeks that we were open, 2 weeks. So my day every day was getting to the restaurant 4 a.m, taking our sourdough, taking it to John Arena's bakery, baking it there, bringing it back in my car, getting back to the restaurant at 6, and then hand mixing all the dough for the day because we just didn't have the equipment that we needed yet. But we wanted to provide what we wanted to provide in the neighborhood and provide for the restaurants and the people coming into it the same level of quality, regardless of what the equipment was. At the end of the day, we just wanted to get the job done. And, you know, I think just maintaining that mentality going into year 8 is kind of what has kept us where it's at, because, you know, if you lose that mentality of just wanting to get the job done and keeping quality high, then you start falling off every day. Like you always say, the restaurant gets better or worse every day. So if you can make it a little bit better every day, then that's the end of the goal.
It's not getting worse if you make it better.
Yeah,
and that's the thing is, like, one day you might come in and be like, oh, wow, nothing changed. We're all good. No, that means it got worse.
Yeah.
Flat out. Like, I mean, that's the thing is, if you can't read a markable change in something or some person, then your restaurant didn't get better, right? Like today at pre-shift, like we're sitting there talking, we have 4 new people on our floor staff. That means that we have 4 new people who don't know how to walk, don't know how to talk, don't know our food, don't know this, don't know that. What are we going to do for them? We're going to start the training process. We're going to make them better today, right? Like yesterday, we had an issue with the cold brew. Like someone watered down the cold brew because they thought it was too strong. And I'm like,
luckily, I was walking by when I overheard someone saying they did that, and I was like, excuse me? Okay, hold on. Let me actually taste this, double check the product and all that. Obviously, not quite what it was supposed to be at that point, especially once it would melt over water and everything. So we went to our friends next door. They were able to donate a little cold brew concentrate to us. We were able to fix the problem, come to a solution. But then we followed back up today, this morning, be like, hey, if you think something's wrong, it's okay to be observant and care about the product that we're giving out to people. But just always follow up. There's a reason why we do everything. So again, going back to giving people the why at the end of the day. Somebody tried to be a little bit proactive and try to help us, which is great. But it's important that people understand the why at the end of the day. So we fixed the problem, and now we're giving them the why after we fix the problem.
right. And that's the whole thing. And like and that's the thing is, like, not to criticize that person. It's to teach the entire staff what the standards are. That's the reason why, like, we do, you know, twice a day, we do a front of the house pre-shift with the team where we bring food out, we talk about it, we go over everything. You know, we ask them questions. We expect that they have the knowledge, and we ask them hard questions about, like, our ingredients, where things come from, right? Who our farmers are, like what the names and what the allergies on dishes are, stuff like that. And then on top of that, we do that with service. But then in the back of the house, we also do a pre-shift where we say, hey, here's what we have coming. Here's what we're expecting. This is what you need to be prepared for. This is some things we need to work on. You saw me walking through there, like, tell them to change the trash cans before service. Like, going into service with an empty trash can is very important. Like, because you're
It's the
gonna
best feeling in the world.
right?
Right?
Right, exactly, right? Like, to, like, and having your shit set and dialed and everything at a right angle and everything's nulled out and you're good to go. That's a beautiful thing. And not having that will create tension, unnecessary tension in a high volume, you know, restaurant, a high pressure restaurant.
Yeah. How do you teach people to speak up? Because, like, if I saw that shit, I'd be like, these motherfuckers didn't do it again. I think I should just do it because I'm very passive like that.
Right.
But, like, I don't know. Is it just like a no ego type of kitchen?
Here's the thing is, like, I think, well, people who come in this kitchen with ego get humbled extremely quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
It's actually, it's funny because it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Someone will come in and they'll have this, like, great, like, we had chefs who worked at, you know, at Robuchon, right? Supposedly 3 Michelin star restaurant. They come and work here and work our lunch station at Pasta. And they're like, this is harder than working at Robuchon. It is. Because our level of care to every single thing, like all that, like all 3 Michelin star restaurants is prep. Service is easy in 3 Michelin star restaurants. Here, our prep is hard, and then our service is hard. That's it's just a different thing, right? Like, we don't take it easy. Like, yeah, we pre-make sauces, like we pre-make our pomodoro sauce, right? But that has to get butter and basil and garlic and herbs at the end because we're creating layers and layers of flavor, right? So you have a base sauce, then you have all this other stuff that you add to it. Then the pasta has to be perfectly cooked, has to be perfectly, like, twirled, has to be on the plate clean, has to be fucking garnished properly, and has to get out to the fucking guest in 30 seconds. Like, the one thing you will not see on this is pasta sitting on this pass for more than 30 seconds. just doesn't happen because we have a standard, right? We don't use a bunch of fucking heat lamps. We don't we don't overtly heat our plates because I don't want to see like disintegrating pasta and things like that happening.
Sauce drying on the bottom of the plate because the plate's too hot.
And we're cooking fresh pasta to order all day long. Like, this is the thing, is like, these are the hard things that we do that no one else even tries to do.
And if it's not for them, they can just get out.
And that's fine. And that's cool. And here's the thing is, it's not for everyone, for sure.
Yeah. No hard feelings in that regard.
All good. Like, it's fine. Go back to Robuchon. By all means. You're going to be successful there. You're a really good cook. And I hope what you took from this is that you can cook at this level if you choose to, right?
If you buy in.
If you buy in. And that's the thing is, like, it's really hard for a lot of people to buy into this culture because it's a culture of never patting yourself on the back. Like, I don't pat myself on the back. He doesn't pat himself on the back. And we always are trying to get better, right? Like, we used to have these shirts that had like our 3 rules, right? And it's the Esther's Kitchen 3 rules. Number 1 is don't die, which means don't do anything stupid. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt anyone else around you, right? Yeah. So don't die.
It's a good number 1 rule.
Yep. Number 2 is...
don't break your arm jerking yourself off.
Don't break your arm jerking yourself off. Don't believe people's bullshit, right? And never settle. Super simple. 3 rules. As long as you do those things, you're good.
Break down number 2 again for me.
So it's like you see all these guys, you see like these chefs, and they win all these awards and this stuff, and they start to believe that they're fucking good at what they do, and like they create this myth and this mystery like around them, this like thing.
Yeah.
And you go to talk to them, and they have to live up to that.
Yeah. Cap.
And they're like not real people, right? Because they've bought into their own bullshit. They started smelling their own farts. I'm like, dude, like, I'm a poor kid from the east side of Vegas, right? I grew up with fucking nothing. My family grew up on food stamps. That's who I am. And the day I change that is the day we lose everything. Like, I know that. I know when I lose myself, if I lose myself as a person, like, I get embarrassed to be in front of people. I get embarrassed doing stuff like this. And I know that about myself. Learning how to do it and do it better and better and better. You can still fail at it and get better at it, right? Fail better, right? It's kind of like, it's one of our favorite things to tell someone is like, fail better. Like, if you think you failed today, tomorrow just fail better, right? And if you fail better every day, you'll continue to grow and get better, and you'll keep challenging yourself. But the day that you don't decide to fail better, or you think you won, and you're not critical of every single thing that you did for that day, right? Right? Like when you go do catering and you set things up, boom, boom, all night when you get home, what do you think about? Could have done this better. Could have had that better.
All
this could have been here.
Time.
Should have done this. Should have done that. Look at that. Look at that. And it's the people who have the arrogance to tune that out in their own mind. Those are the people who fail.
It's hard for me to believe people are like that.
And that's the thing is, like, they can be like that, but they're also not being critical of themselves. I know a lot of people who just like go around, they're like, look how fucking great I am. I did this and I did that. And like, meanwhile, I'm like, oh man, we can do this better. We can do that better. We should do this better. All constant.
I like that.
And if you have that, then you have that. And if you don't have that, then it's fine. You're just going to be mediocre.
It's great. I want to talk about the pizza oven real quick. You chose to go wood-fired.
Yep.
You have the experience going on electric, Pizza Master, all of that. Clearly, you know both sides.
Yeah.
Or you've experienced both sides. Aside from it being very beautiful and sexy.
Well, it's wrapped in the old floor from Esther's.
Oh, fucking shit.
Yeah, so we took the floor, we took the tile.
Oh, God.
And we mosaicked it. So that's what's really cool about this. So my friend Anthony Caron, who had a place called 800 Degrees Pizza.
Yeah.
Right? Blew up. He was the first one to do the Subway version or Chipotle version of pizza, right?
I've had them, I think, in LA.
Awesome, right?
Yeah.
And like, dude, remember he was doing $6.80 margaritas. He had line around the fucking corner. He's crushing it, right? Crushing it. Well, he had 3 of these ovens in storage, right? And he had used them for some R&D or some like outside events and stuff like that. And so I was like looking for an oven. So I called him up. I was like, hey man, what kind of ovens do you use? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I got 3 of them in storage if you want them. And I was like, what do you mean you have 3 of them in storage? And he's like, yeah, I got 3 of them. They're just hanging out. And I'm like, what? Okay, cool. So like, can I buy one? He's like, no, you got to buy all 3. They're in storage. I haven't paid the storage. If you pay the storage and the shipping, you can have them for free.
Nice.
So for $15,000, I got 3 of those ovens.
Ooh.
Those are Kunta Forni 140 or 180s or 191s. They're 191s. It's 191, deck inches. They can do like 6 to 8 pizzas if we really want them to. I like about 4 to 5 in there because I like them to have the right spacing. That being said, I got these ovens and they were just like literally just dropped off like on the street.
Like right in front.
Like right out front of the old restaurant. Yeah. And I had to like call one of my guys to like, they're so heavy, they were breaking pallet jacks.
Holy shit.
Right? So we got them in, we got this one in here, and then we built the pizzeria around it.
Yeah.
Like we built the walls around it. It's not coming out. Right?
It's wild.
It's wild. So super cool on that. And then I gave one to the guy who works on my cars, right? Because he's like, oh, I want a pizza oven, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, do you want a pizza oven or do you want a pizza oven? He's like, I want a pizza oven. I'm like, all right, cool. He's used it like 3 times, but he tiled it amazingly.
Okay.
It's amazing. Like the tiling job he did on it was so nice. And then I got one more just sitting in storage, hanging out, waiting for the next thing. But like I chose these because I wanted the Neapolitan oven, but we run it a little bit lower on the deck. We run 725 on the deck, right? Like, so we don't like,
Great big.
right, exactly. Longer, less heat. So that means you get crunchy pizza.
Beautiful color.
Beautiful color all the way around. On the bottom as well, you get that great fucking deck. Like undercarriage is like nice and tight, and then it doesn't burn. And then on top of it, like we stretch using only semola flour. So like it's a combination. Instead of using like 00 flour, which burns when you put it in the oven, we don't do that. We use semola from Caputo. And what that is, it's like a fine and a coarse semolina together. And so that's what we use for stretching our pizzas, because the dough picks up the flour it needs and doesn't pick up any other like texture. It doesn't pick up like the cornmeal bullshit on the bottom, so you don't get that like weird crunchy, gritty shit. You don't get the burn from 00. It's just like the right flour. And the thing is, like, we started with a different flour. We started with 00, and because we were doing like, deck pizzas at like $5.50.
Baker's Prides, yeah.
Yeah, right. And now when you go to this, you have to rethink the whole game. But about like a year before that, we went to Samoa anyway, because we just found that it just picks up the right amount of flour, takes away the tackiness of the dough, right? So you can have this uber fermented thing, and then it just creates like a little shield on the outside.
You're looking for more like a Neapolitan American wood-fired kind of vibe?
Exactly. Yeah, and without it being floury and without it being like soupy.
Got it.
Yeah, like the rigidity, like the pizza actually having structure when we take a slice, that's definitely one of the tests. We want to make sure it doesn't fall over and all your cheese and toppings and sadness just happens, We want that rigidity under there, so we get that by the lower bake too, for sure.
Do you guys do pan pizzas at the old Esther's?
No, I mean, my boy Ryan Osowski is the master of the pan pizza. Exactly. 3-time world champion. Pizza maker of the year, baby.
Baby.
That's my boy.
He's great.
He nails it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing is like, he literally is trying to create the best Detroit pizza in America. And I think he's doing it.
He's doing it.
And he's not getting the credit he deserves. Because I'll tell you right now, that is it's a hard business to get into, especially being pizza in LA. Fucking his gluten-free is better than any gluten-free I've ever had. Like his vegan is great. Like he knows how to do all that stuff for all those specialty pizza. But like at the end of the day, his like, was it the 1946? His like super traditional Detroit is out of control good. It's so good. And pan pizza is a whole different thing. You're talking about pre-bakes. He uses 2 different size pans to bake one pizza.
Wow, I didn't realize.
Oh, he's wild, dude. Like the amount of thought that man puts into his one ingredient, which is his deck for his pizzas, is insane. No one is playing that game.
Do you think the market's just more limited when it comes to pan pizza, or do you think it's his location? I know he's put out there publicly, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I talked to him at Expo right before he fucking won. And I was like, yo, you're gonna fucking do this. I was hyping him up and everything. I was so excited. And I was like, please let this be the fucking just magical moment for you.
Yeah.
And like, he put out there, he's like, it's not really.
No, I mean, because that's the thing. Is like, at the end of the day, you're also still trying to run a business. And running a business in Southern California, especially in West Hollywood, where they have a $20 minimum wage, which means that every single person has to make a minimum of $20 an hour. I mean, like when you talk about a pizza, which is supposed to be a value proposition, when you talk about pizza, it's always supposed to be a value prop, right? And that business is really hard. And he's still doing it, man. He crushes every day. Guy works 6 days a week, 12 hours a day. And he really does, and he loves it. Because, and at the end of the day, he's working for himself rather than working for someone else. That's a beautiful thing, because we got tired of like restaurants opening and closing and the hype machine that is LA. Like, I mean, here's the thing is like, what's good in LA? There's a lot of really good stuff in LA. But if you're not like one of five guys, no one gives a fuck what you're doing, right? The pizza community is a little different, right? Like pizza guys in LA love his pizza. Go and support and do all that. He's got some good neighborhood clients. But is he getting the tourists? No. Is he getting Dave Portnoy showing up and saying like, oh, this is the thing, right? No, he's not getting that because he's not doing what everyone else is doing. I will say this. Have you had his experimental pizza?
Mm-mm. Oh, like, are you talking about like the fancy?
His thin crust?
No.
His thin crust pan, which is like, if you took, it's thin, super crunchy with the frico around it.
Oh.
It's like if you took a New York and a Detroit and fucking made a hybrid. It's out of control good.
It's baked in a pan?
It's baked in a pan.
Sexy.
And it's cut into wedges, but it's almost like, think like bar pie, but like crazy upgraded bar pie. He's on another level. Like what Chris and Mike and John are doing at Truly. It's on another level. Right? But D-Town's not getting Best Pizza in America awards, right? Because they don't do round pizza. Isn't that crazy?
It's absurd.
It's absurd. But like, he does more work on his dough. He knows more about his product than 99.9% of pizza makers out there. And he's like the nicest guy in the world and will share everything with you.
Good guy.
He's a great guy. He's one of my best friends too. So I gotta give him props for that.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
He deserves all the love.
Absolutely.
You said earlier value proposition, which I'm glad you had kind of taken us in that direction. I see that too. That's why pizza, easy to feed my family. I grew up, relatively middle class. And so pizza would feed us, sustain us. Here, it's, does it get in the way?
Yeah.
Because like you're not doing $10 pastas. People are coming here for multiple courses. I feel like that is the way to enjoy this beautiful space. Is like you order this, you order that, you order this, and then like pizza. I don't know if it gets in the way, if it's mainly for bigger orders, if people just come and get a pizza.
Well, think about this. Like, we're an Italian restaurant.
Fair.
People come and go to the bar. What do they want?
Pizza.
They want a pizza.
Yeah.
Right? You just want a quick thing in and out. You want to call and grab one to go? Sure, why not?
Yeah.
It is the hardest thing to time off the pass.
Ooh.
Because like we can pick up 25 pastas in 4 minutes. Right?
Yeah.
Because we have 4 people on that station. We can make 5 pizzas in 5 minutes.
And this was actually something that we did make the choice to get better on. When we first opened the space here, the idea was that if you order a pizza, it's going to come out of the oven when it's ready. We're not going to worry about the timing. But when the guests started coming in, they wanted a different experience. They wanted that pizza timed out better. And we were getting that feedback. And we were like, all right, that's how, the restaurant is telling us what it needs. So we had to make the choice of actually making an effort to get that timing down. So that's actually one of the hardest parts of me training people, new people on Expo, when I have new people doing the Expo here, is getting that pizza time perfectly to the point where it's coming up at the same time as the pasta.
How do Expo is right here?
Yep.
And pizza's over there. How are they communicating?
Either I'll go over myself personally and tell them which tables to fire, or I'll send a food runner over there. But a lot of that is just my own built-in timer that I have in my head now, knowing how many pastas I have on this pick, knowing where the grill and the roast station is at. And then, you know, me timing when to fire that pizza is very different if I have 5 pizzas going on the pickup versus 2 or 3. And that was something that I was not good at when I was first trying to do that over here. But slowly over months and months and months and months and months, I've kind of built that timer into myself. And now I'm trying to teach other people that sense of timing as well, because having the pizza just come out whenever they're ready just wasn't working for us the way we wanted it to.
And that's the thing is like, at the end of the day, like the restaurant like is going to tell you what it needs, right? Like your business tells you what it needs. People are going to give you the feedback and you can have 2 choices. You can either listen to that and challenge yourself to improve to serve your guests better, in which case you will end up with more guests, or you can choose not to do that and then you will end up with less guests.
Yeah. There's so many people who it's not 50-50, but there are a lot of people who say, if you don't like it, this is kind of the way I've presented it. And like, sometimes I think like, okay, this is your menu item and you've created it in that way. You don't want substitutions. I kind of get that in a sense, but I also do care about the customer because at the end of the day, they're supporting this.
Exactly. And the other thing is like, if you challenge your guest in a way that you alienate them, that is poison to a business, right? I mean, like you have one bad catering. Like say like you have one bad day. How many fucking emails do you write? How many times do you apologize? How many like you just like you literally you have to, right? Because if that person goes out and they said, hey man, I got this catering, but it wasn't really great and they did this and this wrong. And then the guy was like unapologetically an asshole to me and said, this is the way I do my thing. He's going to go out and everyone who hears that story will never be a customer of yours, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm well known for telling people on Yelp to go fuck themselves, for telling them that they can go have a pizza party and no one will go to it, right? Like, and they gonna cry into their own fucking pie. Good for them. But I, at the same time, take every piece of feedback in. And you have to be able to like say, hey, this guy's there's some people who are just horrible people. That's fine. It's great. It's such a small percentage. I've probably written 10 or 15 like replies in a negative way, to Yelp comments, over 3,000 reviews, right? But if someone tells you that you did something wrong and you did something wrong and you know it, it's on you. If they're mad because they didn't get the table they wanted, fuck them. Like, I mean, like, bro, like, oh, it was my anniversary and they got a table that wasn't that great. Like, you got to come here. You chose to come here. Like, if you didn't like it and you got up and left and you never ate our food and you want to give us a bad review, sure, go ahead and do that. But I'm going to call you out for it. Because you're like just being a shitty person. Like, I'm sorry, like we didn't walk on water, but the other 998 people who are going to come have dinner here tonight are going to like make sure, like, we're not going to ruin 500 people's dinner for 2 people. Right? It's like, come on. It's a game of like averages. And every restaurant that says that like they can, oh yeah, everybody loves everything about our restaurant. That is no. This restaurant is loud. This restaurant is busy. This restaurant has a lot of things going on around it. There's movement. If you want to go have dinner in a library, go have dinner in a library. There's the Nomad Library right down the street. Go to Disneyland and do that. But that's not what we do, right? So if you want to come here and be a part of our restaurant, at this point, you're buying into kind of like what we do and how we do it.
Everyone's buying in, not just the staff. The people here too.
Dude, the customers have to buy in. Or else, like, I mean, you have to think about all the wonderful regulars that we have. We have people who eat here 3 to 5 times a week, right? Like, it's the truth. Like, if we didn't have those people, if we weren't doing the right things for the neighborhood and they weren't buying into, like, what this place is, for the culture and everything else that we bring to the neighborhood, then we wouldn't be in business.
That's a super interesting perspective.
It's not a tourist restaurant. Like, this is the restaurant that Las Vegas has always deserved, right? And we're not trying to get conventioneers in the door, right? It's not our thing. Like, sure, we're like maybe 70-30 you know, locals to people who are like from out of town. That's fine.
I saw numerous people celebrating their birthday here when I came.
Right. Because like, yeah, and that's the thing is it's approachable for groups too, because like it's pizza and pasta. Like it's not fancy. It's not overtly spendy, right? Like our check average is not high. Our check average blended for the day is like $42. Like I went to Holstein's across the street, got a burger, fries, and a drink. It was 45. Bro, here you could have like a full dinner. Like here, full dinner, and like enjoy every part of it with service and everything else, right? So it really like by creating all this stuff, like one of the things that we do by having, you know, all these people is we are able to create everything. We make all the pasta, all the bread, all the sauces, use only the best ingredients. This is an Italian restaurant with no can opener in it, bro. You know, we're challenging our people to like give us what we can do, like whatever we can do to make things better. Always.
I love that for you guys.
No, I wish more people had it. I also feel like if we're doing it, then people will get the benefit of it. Like it makes it easier for other restaurants to get those products, and we're not shy about what we use, you know, because we have no reason to be. There's nothing's a secret, you know. Like come in, we'll show you anything you want. Come sauce for a day.
Oh, I give away starter all the time. I give away the bread recipe. I'll give them all the information they want. Whenever a customer's like, "Oh, this thing blew me away," like, what's your secret to? I'm like, "Here's the to the gram recipe. You're
Great.
make it at home. Hope you enjoy it."
We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, dude, like people who want our pizza dough. Like we have like regulars who are like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a pizza party at my house. I got an uni pizza oven." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Let me show you how to stretch dough." I show them how to stretch dough. I'm like, "Here's 10 doughs. Have a great day."
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, like, why? Well, I mean, like, that's the thing. It's like, right? Or like, we have like a lot of regulars who are like, I want to do the pizza thing, but I don't have time to make dough, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I got you. Come over, pop over. We'll give you 10 doughs. Have fun. You know? Like, what does it cost me? Like,
$5.
not even. Right? I mean, like, you think about
That's
like,
if we give them sauce and cheese and everything too, right?
right,
So,
exactly. If we kid it out. But like for the most part, people want to do their own toppings and their own sauce and everything. And dude, they might be taking our pizza dough home and putting like ragu on top of it and like shitty mozzarella that's like made with plastic or whatever. Cool, that's all good. It's what we can do for them, for our neighborhood, for our community. If we can make that person's day better and they can feed their family and we were a part of it, whether or not we made money on it or not is inconsequential, because then when they have a birthday, where are they having their birthday at? Bang, anniversary, bang, right? Their kid graduates from college, bang. Everything is cyclical. Everything comes back. The more love you put out into your community, the more you get back. It's actually the hardest part about catering because you're worried about like, you know, you can have an impact on one person, but like we have an ability to impact massive amounts of people, right? Where you're doing like smaller things, right? But here's the cool thing is, over time, that person that you made that impact on goes to 10 people, 20 people, 100 people, 500 people, 1,000 people, right? Like we were joking around, like, you know, our first year, we fed 100,000 people, 100,000 people. And we thought about that in the context and we're like, oh yeah, congratulations. We've served less than 1% of the entire Las Vegas Valley, right? That means that 99 out of 100 people have no idea who we are. And then the next year, maybe it was 2%. And now maybe it's 5. Now maybe 5 out of every 100 people know about this restaurant after 7 years. But in another 5 years, maybe it's 10. And 10% of people knowing what you do and knowing that you do certain things, that's how you can continue to build and build and build this business, right? Like that's what you have to think about it as. It's fine, Penelope, come on up. You got to run in here and grab some stuff.
Yeah, I do want to start to close things out, if that's okay with you guys.
Absolutely, man.
First and foremost, this was super inspiring. I love the philosophy, where your heads are at, the environment, the food, obviously. It's like, it's all very amazing. So you don't need my congrats, but like, this is cool.
No, but I mean, it's all a collaborative effort. Like no one person could open this restaurant and do this. Like you have to have a team of human beings around you who are going to allow you to be successful. And people come and go, like even like cooks, they come and they go. Like, all like Justin Ford, right? Justin Ford was one of our original pizza makers at Esther's back in the day. He left, he went to Yukon, and then he came back and he worked here, right, when we opened. And now he's a sous chef over at Bohème.
I didn't know that.
He's continued his evolution,
It's amazing.
And that's the thing is like, what does he really want to do? He wants to make burgers.
Burger Goon.
He wants to be a burger goon, and that's fine. So how do we figure out long-term how to get him that spot? Like develop him from the person he was 7 years ago to someone that we can put resources behind and build something with him. How do you do that? You have to allow him to leave and grow and go through his stuff and come back and watch his evolution, right? Same thing, like, before we made Dylan the executive chef, I was trying to send him to Michelin star restaurants to go do stages so he could literally go find a new job. Why? Because I knew eventually it would be good for us, right? He decided to stay. It's fine. Good for him, But this is the thing is like, you can't do it on your own. It takes everybody. And that's the thing is like, it's hard because like, I'll tell you right now, we have people in this restaurant now that they just started. I don't know their name yet. And that makes me feel like a piece of shit, right? But that being said, you have to be that way because the day you stop being that way and you stop caring about all these people and, every single person on your team, that's the day you lose.
I love that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, he doesn't even know. They like literally have 4 people who started today. Right. But that's the thing is like 2 people got moved to nights, 2 people quit. We had to get rid of 1 person. Stuff happens, the thing about the restaurant business also is like, you know how it is. Like the team you have today and the team you might have in a month might be a whole different team. But if you set standards and you set procedures and you have all of your SOPs and you train, then you have a chance.
I like how you ended that. Then you have a chance.
And that's the thing is like, and
You still got to show up.
well, then you have a chance. Then you have a chance to fail, and then you have a chance to fail better, right? And as long as you're failing better, like all these guys say, like her, she just touched her hair. I'm gonna have to go down and say, hey, don't touch your hair when you're walking through the dining room. Go wash your hands. I have to go do that because if I don't set that standard with her, she's gonna believe it's okay. She's not gonna be thoughtful. She's not gonna be critical of herself. These people, they think that getting a job, they've won, and they don't realize this is where your training begins.
Keeping the job.
It's not about even keeping the job. It's about learning the expectations because the person who walks in here day one will never be a rock star. Cooks who walk into this restaurant, I tell them like, servers, you're 7 years behind. That's the truth because we've been developing our language. We've been developing our systems for 7 years.
Fuck.
Right? The pizza we're putting out now is not the pizza we were putting out 7 years ago. The pasta we're putting out is not the pasta we're putting out 7 years ago. It's just not. Right? And if it was, we would not be this restaurant. That's the trick, right? And it's really about him now taking the reins and now teaching all these guys everything that they're going to need to know. That's it.
So what's next for Esther's Kitchen as a whole? Is it?
So Esther's has now become the engine of which we build all the other restaurants off of. I don't want to do another Esther's Kitchen. I have absolutely no intention of doing another one of these. This is the only one of these there will ever be. Now our other brands like Al Solito Posto, by all means, we can do another one of those, right? Ada's, our wine bar, we could do another one of those. Bohème, our French restaurant, we could do another one of those. High Steaks, our steakhouse we're building, we could do another one of those, right? We're building those to do this. This thing, our favorite thing to do here is to take away people's favorite dishes. Oh, you like that dish? Well, that's out of season, so here's something else, right? Oh, you like that pea pasta? Well, it's out of season, so here's corn. Oh, corn's out of season? Well, here's kale, right? Like the seasonality and the evolution of our food is constant. And we thrive, and people come to this restaurant, our regulars come here because they know we're always going to be changing shit constantly, right? that's the other thing. Like if you have one menu and like it's 5 items, that might work for In-N-Out. It doesn't work for you, right? Like we have to be pushing. We have to be constantly evolving, whether or not we're playing with different flours for pastas, or like we just made that red wine cavatelli, right?
Yeah.
Like we reduced 2 giant balls of red wine down to a syrup and then made a fucking pasta dough out of it, right? Like why did we do that? Because we wanted to R&D it for fall. Like, so we're R&Ding stuff that we're not even going to use for 5 months. Right. And that's the thing is like, so we're constantly challenging ourselves and working on stuff.
And then sometimes we'll revisit things too, like the new nudie on the menu,
Yep.
which is our old nudie.
Which is like the first dish that was ever ordered. And the reason why we took it off the menu is because we couldn't do it here. We couldn't do it at the volume. Right.
We were having issues with production, and the ricotta that we're using to actually make that product, we didn't have that volume to be able to do yet, but now we're actually ordering that Joya product. We're having it made fresh for us every week from one of our importers. And so now that we are able to get the right product and we have the right tools, we brought it back to the menu again, and now we're executing it, I think, better than what we were doing before. So even though it was an old dish, we're making it just slightly better as the last time, and now people are like, there are regulars that see it before, they're excited to see it again.
They're like nerding out over it. It's wild. It's wild. So a nudie is it's a naked ravioli. Basically, we have to use Joya because it's a full fat ricotta, and it has no preservatives, no carrageenan, no stabilizers or thickeners in it at all, right?
Super pure.
Super pure. It's made on Wednesday. We get it on Thursday. We use it for 5 days and it's done. Like it's just something we get every week. We lost the ability to use that product because our volume got too big. And you can't substitute other ricotta for this. There's a lot of things that you can substitute ricotta for ricotta. This is not one of those things because it is literally eggs, ricotta, pecorino, and Parmesan, salt, and pepper. That's it. That's the only thing that goes in it. So you take that and you take semolina and you take the back of an egg and you make a divot, right? And then you go back over that again and you solidify those divots. Then you scoop the nudie mix after you process it, right? Put that in and then you bury it overnight. And what happens is the semolina, the water from the ricotta and the eggs creates pasta around it, right? So what was happening is we were cooking those in the pasta boiler. The problem is they're so fragile and that pasta boiler is so big now because our old pasta boiler was smaller. The action of the boil is so rapid that it broke the nudies. So we had to figure out how to fix that. And what we realized is we could use our Rationale steamer. We put them in there, we steam them for 5 minutes, and then we just put them in the butter and baste them.
Nice.
So now they're not going into that water. So now they're getting hot, they're cooking through, the pasta gets fucking cooked on the outside, right? And then we're finishing it by basting them so they're not getting rolled around in the pasta water, so they're not breaking. Right? This is the thing, is like, you know, when you're like, we literally had cooks just walk out. Because like they would get on their station, they'd drop their first nudie of the day and they'd all break and they'd just cry and walk away. Seriously, no, like you have to, yeah.
We had to start testing them before pre-shift to knew whether we had to 86 them for the day or not based on whether they were holding apart in the water or not.
And that's the thing is like we could have like added carrageenan to them, we could have added xanthan gum to them, we could have used the chemical process to change them, but this is such a pure dish that we did not want to do that. And so we just took it off the menu because we couldn't execute it. So now that we have a different process, we figure out a different methodology to get to a product that we wanted. And then we figured out that we could do it. And we're like, oh shit, this is amazing. Right? But like also realizing that something as you scale will change. Like we didn't have access to Joya because of the volume. So guess what? We had to use this other ricotta and all of a sudden the product didn't work. There's 2 ways of looking at that. You either change the product or stop doing it. So we chose, because we were failing so poorly at it, that we chose to stop doing it. And then we revisit it 2 years later and we figure it out. That's rad. I love that. I love that like 2 years later, we're like, hey, you remember that problem we had? We figured out how to like fix it. And now we can get that product. Because like the reason why we can get that Joya product back in now is also because all Antico Vinayo. Because all Antico Vinayo uses so much mozzarella that they can actually produce enough ricotta for us. Isn't that wild?
think we just upped our par to about 140 pounds of ricotta a week now.
It's 20 pounds, so it's only 7 cases.
No, 140, so 4x4, so...
No, 5 pounds, 4x5, 20 pounds
yeah,
per
20
case.
pounds. So yeah, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20.
Is that
That's
400?
almost 8 cases, but
Yeah. So like it's a lot. So think about how much mozzarella you need to make that much ricotta. It's a lot.
The standards of excellence here are like super high, and shit, I may ask you one day in the future to allow me to get my ass kicked and maybe stage here.
Come hang out, man. Anytime. That's the thing is like anybody, we've never said no to anybody, man. Anybody who wants to come see what we do, come hang out.
It's a good call to action.
Yeah, I mean, like it's one of those things where if you're stuck on something, and like sometimes I get stuck as well. Dude, I call my friends, I ask them questions. I'll ask Ryan questions. I'll ask Justin Ford questions. I'll call Chris Decker, ask him questions, like all kinds of things. Like, I don't think I have it all figured out. Sometimes I travel. When I travel, I only go to places that I want to eat at. I don't really care about anywhere, right? I don't I'm going to London. I'm going to eat at restaurants that are all wood fire and check these things out because they do them really well. I don't go there because, I want to, go see Big Ben. We travel for our work, we travel for our passion, right? Our passion's food. So we do that. And but anytime I have friends that come into town or people who we have this guy, Dan Robinson from Alabama. And he has a great pizzeria down there. He just sold, did his thing. He's got some time. So he comes and he works here for a week and just hangs out.
he actually texted me 2 days ago saying he's coming in August.
There you go. And he just wants to continue and see what we're doing and work on stuff. And we're all about it, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
Final question for you guys. There's no right or wrong answer. What's good dough?
What's good dough?
What's good dough?
What's good dough is we got 3. For me, it's the 3 projects that we have and seeing the growth in everybody. Obviously, I couldn't be doing the steakhouse at the Rio. We couldn't be moving Ada's. We couldn't have our other project we're working on, if this place wasn't good. And so what's good dough is this guy. This is the thing is the evolution of watching someone who, likes to smoke a lot of pot and do drum and bass DJing. And 12 years later, now he's running a $12 to $15 million a year restaurant. I mean, that's what's good dough. Seeing the evolution of him and seeing the evolution of the team and, seeing the evolution of our guests and the community and our neighborhood and everything that goes into it. It's what's good dough. What about you, buddy?
And I'd say for me, having the opportunity to even be where I am to begin with is good. But now just me taking my next step in my own evolution, I thought I kind of got to my position where I am by always trying to be of service to everybody around me. But now that I've done that so much, these people that I'm in this new position now want to see me succeed, and they're all trying to help me just be better at my job every day. So when I have demands and expectations of them, I try to give it back and vice versa, and just helping each other is even though I'm technically their boss, working together as a team and being collaborative and making sure that we all have the same goal in mind and all helping each other, just live better and be better and just do better every day. That's kind of what's being good for me, is them being very supportive of me as I'm growing into my new role and then wishing success upon me.
And that's one of the things you learn as being a boss. This is people don't work for you. You work for them. At the end of the day, I work for the hostesses. I work for the runners and the bussers. I work for the expos. I work for the cooks. I work for everybody. I might have to tell them what to do and guide them. But at the end of the day, you have to be of service to so many people. And teaching that to Dylan, and because that's one of the great things that he, one of the intangibles that Dylan's always had is that he understood that some days you're just going to have to work 18 hours.
4 a.m., bake the bread.
Dude, some days it's going to be like that. It's my job to be able to tell him, yeah, some days are going to be like that, but you're taking 3 days off next week. And you're taking your vacations. So you're doing these things to make sure that you can balance those things, right? For the most part, now we have it down to where, our chefs work 50 hours a week, 55 max, gnats,
Yeah, for
you know, like, but if we're doing like something cool, like we're doing a Legion event or we're doing a charity event, there's extra work to do. But for the most part, like if it's a regular week and you're working more than 55 hours a week as a chef here, something's wrong. So we need to help you and make sure that you're all good, right? Because, you know, if not, then you're going to burn out. And then we didn't serve you well. And then you're not able to serve other people well. And then you're going to fail, right? So what's good though is like, is that seeing these people being able to harmonize, being able to like get their lives in a place where they can like have a little bit of peace of mind is it's the most important thing that we can do for people, right? It's like being of service.
Thank you. Many congratulations to you, to both of you, to everyone here. I'm a much better person after this conversation. I have all of a sudden my standards shot up even more. I'm sure the people here are feeling like, fuck, I got to get out there and do more. That's exactly what I wanted from this conversation. So
I'll tell you one thing is no one ever went broke by giving to charity. Like one of the most important things, and it's one of the things that restaurants do the most, is we give to charity. We're the first ones to line up to be of service to our community. No one ever went broke doing that. So taking care of your community, especially like right now in the times that we're in, taking care of people, helping out the people of your community. If you do that, it always is returned to you tenfold. Always. I truly, honestly believe that. Like no one ever went broke by taking care of the people around them. Except for MC Hammer. It's like the one guy, right? Cool, guys. Awesome, man. Appreciate you, mate.
Thank you. Appreciate having you.
Yeah. It's good work.